boxing champions in here on Showtime.
I mean, I think I'm right there. You know, prior to me beating Hurd, if it wasn't Hurd, would have been at the top of the list. So I took out the boogeyman right away. The only thing I feel like I'm missing is another champion, and I've been calling out Tony Harrison since I beat Hurd. So if I beat another former champion, I'm right in the mix for a #1 contender or a title shot. So once I take care of business next week, you know, I feel in great shape. I want the Tony Harrison fight. It makes the most sense. He's not going to get a title shot right now, neither am I. So we might as well get it on right there, you know, and give the fight fans what they want. And once I beat Tony Harrison, then I'll have a unified champion, a former champion, and they'll have no one else to doubt me. No one else has a resume than me. Like no one on that list on the top 54 pounders have the better resume than me. You know, I've been on every network. I fought all top guys at 160, jumped at the 54, fought the boogeyman right away. So I'm right there. You know what I mean? Like I've had my setbacks, but I'm right there. So once I get this guy out the way, I want Tony Harrison, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep fucking up all his stuff and just messing up his stuff until he fights me. You know, and I feel like that makes the most sense. So give me another champion, and then I'm ready for whoever.
All right, Luis, we'll let you work out here at the Mayweather Boxing Club. Luis Cuba Arias, ladies and gentlemen. Fighting words towards Tony Harrison. We'll watch Luis Cuba Arias work out here in Las Vegas. Thank you very much, Luis. Appreciate it. Luis Cuba Arias, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Running a little late here. This is the live stream for Rolly Romero's Media Day. There's Luis Arias. Remember, did the smack connect? Hold on. Sorry. Did the smack connect Tony Harrison when he jumped off the stage at the Sergio Garcia final press conference on the undercard of Lubin versus Fundora? Did it connect? Well, anyway, he's calling out Tony Harrison at 154. He did take out, you know, a former boogeyman in Jarrett Swift Hurd. This is on the undercard here. I'm gonna pull all the stuff up. I'm a little bit behind. Take your time out. Like the video, subscribe, and T3 Controversy with Fight View 360. We're gonna be here for about an hour or so, give or take. We got multiple subjects we gotta cover here. My colors for my stream are all jacked up. Sorry, I had to reset my PC. Gotta shut this bad boy down every day, do a hard boot up. But yeah, man, where are we gonna start? Let me pull up this Charlo Castano. Let's see, let's pull up my main Charlo, who should be pound for pound. I mean, he's obviously gonna be pound for pound, right? Obviously pound for pound, you know? But where on the pound for pound list? I didn't fix that. I was supposed to fix that. But where on the pound for pound list? And why are we lagging? Hold on, guys. Give me a minute. I have no clue what's going on here. Give me a minute. Let's do it like that. All right, we should be good. We should be good now. So yeah. Let's see, where are we at? Look at this resume of Jermall Charlo. We're going to talk about the credible fights that he's had, like the fights of like real note and how he did it. Because his undisputed run is you know, is damn good. It's damn good. It's not no rinky-dink shit here. While Luis Arias works out in the background. So let's go back to, let's start with Gabriel Rosado, whose name is still relevant here today. You know, just a few weeks ago, he had lost to Shane Mosley Jr. So very credible win right here. Venice Martirosyan, very, very credible win right here at the time. John Jackson, he was losing this fight, as you can see, and then came back to stop him. He's got that clutch factor. Charles Hatley. I always tell the story about how they thought I was team Charles Hatley, the Charlos. That's how the bad blood started, you know. The Charlo brothers Charlo, they thought I was team Hatley. But I'm telling you now, T Street was never team Hatley. Okay? So, like, you know, get out of my face with that mess. Hold on, I'm doing something else in the background. Erickson Lubin, I was there ringside. I was actually there at both of these fights, the Hatley fight and the Lubin fight. Just pretty much, you know, as I was going to my seat, this fight was over. You know, I was going in to settle in for this joint. I was in the back. I usually hang out in the back of the Barclays Center when I go to fights. And I thought, you know, I was like, all right, this is going to be a nice little chess match. And then wham, he knocked his ass in the next week. And of course, now he has lost in a second shot at getting Charlo to Sebastian Fundora. Got his face broken by him. Austin Trout, still a very credible win at that time. The Tony Harrison fight, you know, I was there at this fight as well. And did I go to Harrison? I did. I was here. Yeah, that's why I got cussed out by Charlo, Mall Charlo. Yeah, so, you know, we thought that Mel had got the end of the bad decision. But what does he do in a rematch? Comes back, leaves no doubt, knocks out Tony Harrison. Then he goes to beat the man who beat the man. Remember, he had beat J. Rock Williams to unify those titles. That WBC and that WBA and that IBF. Punched him in the stomach, good old Jelly Belly there. And then he met Browne Castano in a fight that had draw written all over it. Charlo's issue was he didn't stay off the ropes, and Derek James had said it to him, you know, in you know, not as many words, but basically, you know, everything that he's doing, you're giving it to him. You know, regarding him staying on the ropes. And what did he do in the rematch? Hold on, I had to do something in the background again. I'm a little late to the stream. My bad, guys. Give me a minute. But yeah, he adjusted in a rematch. You know, every time Castano would throw something of note, Charlo would respond. Big time flurry. When Charlo would be on the ropes for a little bit, he would get off of there. He did what he had to do. And now he's sitting on top of the division. So me and my colleague Big J later on are going to do a video where we're going to talk about why is everything's frozen? Oh, we're going to do a video on if Tim Tszyu is next. My understanding is he's supposed to be next, Bakr and Murtazaliev, but where is his team? How come nobody's speaking up for Murtazaliev? Like you had Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu, you know, or as Jermall called him Tim Kazoo, in his Dick's Sporting Goods shirt, models come over here talking shit. But in reality, he's supposed to be first. Expect something from the IBF within the next, you know, like couple of weeks or so as far as ordering Charlo to fight Murtazaliev. Tim Tszyu hasn't been mandatory for 2 years. He's only been mandatory officially since last August. He's second in line. Then third in line would be Fundora, and then fourth would be the winner of Madrimov Soro. But according to Mall Charlo, Mel is going to move up. But Mel is probably going to run into the same problems that Mall has run into at 160. Not getting any fights or anything of significant note. The real money would be at 154 for Jermall if he can still make weight. I mean, he made, 152 3/4 this time. What you talking about, Arias?
Gloves on, and you know I'm coming with that shit, so.
So you already beat him in the amateur?
Yeah, I already beat him. I mean, a lot of these guys know me because I was a top guy in the amateurs. Things haven't been perfect for me in the pros just yet, but I ain't done. Every loss that I had, I came back. Like I said, I just beat the boogeyman less than a year ago.
What's the issue between you and Harris? What happened?
There ain't no issue. I just felt like I needed a champion, you know? I said it after the fight. After I beat Hurd, I said, okay, I wanted to fight Hurd at 54 because I wanted to move down. After I beat one unified champion, the only way to get to a title shot quicker is by fighting another one. The only one that was available was Harrison. Williams, you know, I don't know what he was doing, but he wasn't available. Harrison was available. So whatever, you know, I didn't get the decision I wanted the last fight, but it was at 3 o'clock. It don't matter. That guy wasn't even a 54. This next guy that I'm fighting next weekend, he been fighting at 54 his whole career. So we gonna see how I do with someone who's a legitimately 54. I'm in great shape. I've been sparring nothing but champions. Everybody in this motherfucker know who I am because they know I'm a real fighter. So once I get this guy out the way, like I said, I want Harrison.
Luis, what's the story behind the duck?
He's a duck. It's like, that's the story behind it, is he's a duck. He can say whatever the hell he wants. I saw with my own 2 eyes. Me and Floyd are cool. And that's one thing, you know what I mean? I always say it's about who you know. Me and Floyd have a great relationship. You know, we don't talk every day. You know, he don't answer my phone call every day. But when we do, we're cool. Floyd known me since I was young, before I was even pro. So Floyd, when Floyd called me, and I straight up asked Floyd, I want to fight Harrison. You let Ishe Smith fight him. That was years ago. Let me get that fight. And I saw Floyd make the phone call. Yay. He called upstairs. Yay. I want them to fight. It wasn't because of me.
You called out Heyman?
So why the fight didn't happen? It wasn't because of me, because I was the one that asked for it. And he was talking shit online, saying he was going to fight me. And when I wrote him and asked him, hey, yo, because we could have fought on tank other card. I said, hey, yo, did they offer you a fight? Did they offer you, you know? He read my message and didn't say nothing. So then I made the decision to go fight off TV versus someone who I shouldn't have been fighting. I should have just waited for the big fight. But I was like I said, I'm a fighter, man. Whoever they put in front of me, fuck it, let's fight. You know, so I made that decision and I caught the bat and the bullet, you know? Because even though I thought I won the fight, it was whatever. It was a fight that shouldn't have happened. But it happened at 3 o'clock, so it don't matter, you know? So it is what it is, you know, and I ended up not getting the fight. And then he ended up fighting someone who lost the same day that I lost. So why he ain't fight me in April? It ain't me.
Do you feel like you got to get some momentum back after your last fight?
I felt like I lost a little momentum because I took an L, you know? But nobody saw the fight. Who saw the fight? You know, people were writing me like, yo, you fought? I was outside and reporters were coming like, hey, what's going on?
Somebody in the chat just asked if he fought.
So it's like, I didn't really lose that much momentum because I ain't really been seen. Even this fight, like had I even won that fight, no one would have saw it. I went to Mexico and fought a duck just to get a W real quick, no one would have saw it.
You're saying it's irrelevant. You're saying that fight's irrelevant.
I mean, it was more an experience, but it really was irrelevant. It wasn't a guy in the weight class, and it was at 3 o'clock.
Well, like you want to make a statement in this fight?
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I feel like I'm fighting someone who's more in the weight class. I feel like I need to make the statement so I can go get that big fight. You know, because even though I beat her, that's the last time people saw me. So the last time I was on prime time, I fought an animal, and I beat him convincingly. And now, and like I said.
Oh, my bad. I'm trying to fix my. Damn, I cut it off at the wrong time. Sorry, guys. Give me a minute. I was trying to fix my headphones. My bad.
Top dog right now. He be fighting Charlo for all the belts. So, I mean, I'm right there, man. I'm right there. You know, like, I'm not going to quit. My team believes in me. Once my trainer looks at me in the face and was like, you know what, man? I don't know. Once I hear that from my trainer, then I'll be like, okay, you know what? Maybe let's start looking at another lane. But right now, man, my trainers believe in me. My trainer believes in me. The people that are really buying me believe in me. And they know I can fight. All these fighters, a lot of these guys know me. We've known each other for years. They know I can fight. So like I said, I just got to get that another W that I need to get. And then I need to get that big fight with a former champion. And then I guarantee you I'll be fighting for a world title.
Luis, for the audience, who are you going to be fighting next Saturday on May 28th?
I'm fighting, the guy's name is Jimmy Williams. I think he's 19-7, maybe 20-7, veteran guy. He's been fighting at 54 most of his career. You know, a solid guy. He's got a lot of rounds in him. You know, again, though, off TV. You know, so, but this guy is, like I said, we're going to go good to schedule for 10. I feel like it's someone that I need to improve on. We made the improvements in the gym. I've been sparring a lot more rounds. I went from sparring Jesse Vargas, helping him get ready, and then right into camp with Laura and the other guys over at Salah's gym. Salah's got nothing but world champions in and out of there. So, like I said, the work is there. You know, my trainer thinks I'm better now than I was for the Hurt fight. So I just got to go prove it. You know, the hard work is done. It's just time to just make the weight and shine next week. So,
Luis, you like dealing to.
Let's talk about what's going on. This is Rolly Romero's live media day. So next up is Iris Lindy Lara, I believe. Let me pull it up in the email here. You know, Luis Arias has got a pretty wild resume. Remember, a few weeks ago, he was at the final press conference for Lubin versus Fundora and Tony Harrison versus Sergio Garcia. And he was talking shit from the crowd, and Tony Harrison rushed off the stage, and they say that, like, you know, like he smacked Luis Arias. But look at this resume here, right? It's pretty up and down. He lost to Danny Jacobs, and this is why he's pretty much fighting non-TV fights. I mean, non-televised fights. He's going to be on the undercard of Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero. So he lost to Danny Jacobs, then had a draw with Gabriel Rosado, lost to Luke Keeler, got a split decision over Jared Swift Hurd, and then lost to Avon Alexander to be a split decision. Now this Hurd joint make Hurd look bad. Like that, like considering the run that he was on, this makes Jared Hurd look bad. That was a bad, you know, but Hurd posted something on his social media about how he's been grieving. My phone has been going off all doggone day. Phone's been going off all doggone day. So yeah, we were talking about Charlo, and you know, I wanted to hear what in the world? Why is that up there? Get out of here. Somebody told me that's because of my search history. I don't be searching no fucking toe fungus. History take care of his fucking toenails. But anyway, we were talking about Charlo. And how he is a pound for pound fighter. Now, the question is, where is he on the pound for pound list? Let's go look at ESPN pound for pound list real quick and, you know, and try to make some sense of it. ESPN pound for pound. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here on the ESPN pound for pound list. Oh, can't find it. Hold on. There we are. So let's see what we got here for the ESPN pound for pound list. When Hurd fought Arias, it was at 160. It was at 160. Let's see here. Who we got on the ESPN pound for pound? They got Terrence Crawford, number 1. Inoue, number 2. Spencer, number 3. Canelo, number 4. Fury, number 5. Usyk, number 6. Lomachenko, number 7. Bivol, number 8. Stevenson, number 9. Francisco Estrada, number 10. So who do you take out? Automatically, the first two names that stick out to me is, you know, to replace Charlo is Estrada and Loma. So one of them two got to bite the dust. Got to bite the dust. Now, with Nunez, he's pretty much still up there, just like Terrence Crawford, because of his accomplishments overall and being undefeated in the divisions that they've ruled in before. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, they belong on the list. Do I believe they belong that high? No, not really. In my opinion, my pound for pound is Alexander Usyk. Number 2, I'm going to give it to Spence. Number 3, Crawford. Number 4, Canelo. Number 5, Fury. And I gotta really sit down and look at the list. But, you know, number 6, to be honest, I would have Charlo number 5 over Fury and Fury number 6. Charlo's top 5. Pound for pound, you know, it depends on how you look at it for heavyweights. But yes, I do put heavyweights in my pound for pound. Now, my pound for pound is, you know, I have, you know, everyone's criteria is different. But, you know, if you can pretty much beat up the person in the big name, or have a good fight with the guy in the division before you and above you, you know, then I'm like, look, but I don't want to confuse you guys, because then I'm going to start confusing myself. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, overall though, Charlo's the man. But I don't know if going to 160 right now is the real move for him, unless, you know, he really got some real money up there. He like, you know, that he's going to make, like he's got some promises. Because what's going to stop him from running into the same problems that his brother Jermall has run into at 160? Well, you know, what's going to stop him? Yeah, Loma got to go. I think I say Loma too. I think Loma's got to go. He's got to get the boot off this pound for pound. I don't know though, but if you know, like, either it's got to be either Loma or Shakur. Those are the two, in my opinion. In the pound for pound, Shakur and Loma are the weakest links. Even you can make an argument that Fury is the weakest link in the division. I mean, in the pound for pound rankings, one of them, because Deontay Wilder. How high did you rate Deontay Wilder? But that's why everyone's list is different. Everyone's list is different. But when you talk about guaranteed guys that belong in the pound for pound top 10, guaranteed guys, Crawford definitely belongs. Inoue definitely belongs. Spence belongs. Canelo belongs. Usyk belongs. Bivol belongs. You still got to rate accomplishments though overall. You know, you can have a loss and still be on the pound for pound list. You know, and the crazy thing is, look, who's missing off the pound for pound list? Fucking George Kambosos. You know, but everyone's criteria is different, man. It's all different, you know, and it's all for, you know, like up for debate. That's what a pound for pound list is. You know, nobody's pound for pound list is going to meet your expectations. Make your own damn list. So, yeah, I forgot to check who's next up at this media day here for my man, Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero's an entertaining dude. I'm expecting for him to put on a nice little media day here. So, next up, we got Jesus Ramos. You had Arias. You got Jesus Ramos coming up. Laura is going to come up. Laura's like fucking 100 years old. And then you got Rolly Romero, who's going to be coming up in about an hour or so. I mean, like 40 minutes or so, give or take. Oh, my man Arias doing a whole media day? Oh, I thought he was going to hit the pads. But yeah, man, this week's cards of the week, if you don't know, the Mickey Bay and Tevin Farmer fight got canceled. That was supposed to be in Dubai, but because their president died, they don't work or something like that. I don't know. And Mayweather's fight last week was canceled as well in Dubai, but ain't nobody really want to see that shit. I did kind of want to see it, to see what kind of, you know, like how it's going to look with the helipad and all that, but nothing's been rescheduled. Let me pull up the schedule here. You have David Lemieux and David Benavidez fighting for the WBC interim, but do not be surprised if the winner is not going to be Canelo's mandatory. Expect for Canelo to be made a franchise champion at 168. That's what I expect. They ain't going to order Canelo to fight nobody. No way. WBC, they're not going to do it. Let's see what we got here, though. I think you should have a belt. I think you should have a belt to be on pound for pound. I believe you should have at least one. Here, let's go see. Let's go look at Dan Rayfield's schedule here. Let's see what's going on. Not really interested in that card. I'm probably gonna buy this. It's for $199 on ProBox TV. It's a venture by Marquez. Basically, Marquez, Roy Jones, Antonio Tarver have seemingly started their own boxing network here. Online boxing streaming service. I was checking them out earlier. I purchased that Triller car for $3. That shit was like 7 hours long. So let's see here. Here's what they're offering. Let's see what they got here. They got a Contender Series. This is their fight this weekend. Ming versus Pascal. I'll see what their event schedule is. That's what we got. Okay, stole this shit from Showtime. All right. You know, but yeah, I'm gonna buy this joint. It's $18 a year or $2 a month. You can't really beat that for boxing. Come on, support the sport. Here, I'll put the link in the chat for you. It's $2. You know, I'm a degenerate boxing fan. You know, I'm gonna pay for that shit. And what else we got here this week? How about that? Jimmy Wang. Jaeming Wang. How about that? Cool name. What else you got here? This is the card where this weekend, David Benavidez versus David Lemieux. I'm gonna do my fight week preview on this tomorrow. Victor Ortiz returning, but he's in a dark match. It's not gonna be televised against the Todd Manuel. That's some bullshit right there, right? Here, let me pull up this card. Pull up this card here for you. What is Ray talking about? What are you talking about, Ray?
With such verbal barbs and try to play the mental warfare game with him. I've never seen anything like that. Is he going to get him angry? How does he fight angry? Already, as it is, Gervonta Davis is a lethal puncher. So one cannot mistake the dynamite and the power in the hands of Gervonta Davis. And now we are joined alongside by the undefeated 18-0, 15 knockouts, 21 years of age, Jesus Mono Ramos. Jesus, thanks so much for joining us, my friend. It is great to see you, your entire family. But as we are 11 days away until you take on Luke Santamaria, give us your thoughts on how training camp has been. You look fantastic. You're now 21 years of age. I met you when you were 18, and now you are of legal age. Not that you do any of that stuff, but what's it like now as you are getting ready for your matchup against Luke Santamaria on Showtime pay-per-view?
You know, everything's going good. You know, in training camp has been real good. I feel ready. Like you said, I look good. I feel good. You know, we added Larry Wade to strength and conditioning, so our team is growing. You know, we're getting better. Like you said, I met you when I was 18, so little by little, man, little by little, we're expanding our team and we're getting better and better.
It's not surprising that you added Larry Wade to your team, because as I'm looking at you now, this is the most shredded and, you know, cut that I've ever seen you. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair to say. You know, we've been realizing that, and I feel good. Like I said, I feel strong, and I'm ready for Luke Santamaria. Now,
Luke Santamaria is a guy who beat your uncle back in February. You actually fought that night as well. You defeated Vladimir Hernandez, but do you feel like there is a sense of family pride on the line? Do you want to get retribution, revenge? You do not pay attention to any of that stuff.
I don't really pay attention to none of that stuff because I don't feel like he beat my uncle. I feel like it was a close fight, but I don't feel like he beat my uncle. He was hurt two, 3 times in that fight, and I don't feel like he did enough to beat him. But you know, it is what it is. Now I have to fight him, and I feel like he's got kind of a false confidence coming into this fight because he feels like because he beat my uncle, he can beat me, and I don't feel that way. You know, I don't feel like that's gonna help him at all.
The one item that I've always told you that impresses me is how you systematically break down your opponents. But I love your punching power. Where do you get that from?
You know, my mom and dad argue all the time. My mom says from her, and my dad says from him. But, you know, I don't know. I guess I'm just naturally, you know, gifted with that. But yeah, I don't know, man. It comes natural to me.
Fighting on pay-per-view, Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Big-time boxing is back. You've seen many events there, but what is it like for you knowing that you're going to be on the undercard of Gervonta Davis and Rolando Romero, a fight that a lot of fight fans are looking forward to in the lightweight division?
You know, this is a big card, you know, like you said, everybody's looking forward to this one. You know, Gervonta Davis, he has a lot of fans, and now I get to be on his undercard and on Showtime for the first time. So it's a great privilege to me, and I'm not taking that lightly. I'm coming at my best, and I'm ready to perform.
What statement are you looking to make to signal to the rest of the super welterweight division?
You know, I got to make a big statement. I got to show that I'm here, you know, I'm here to stay. That, you know, Vladimir Hernandez wasn't just a one-time thing. You know, that win is going to lead to bigger things, and that's what I got to show next Saturday.
As usual, we'll let you go and work out here at the famed Mayweather Boxing Club. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you, man. It was good. It's good seeing you too.
The undefeated Jesus Mono Ramos. We're going to watch him work out here.
Yeah, I got my eye on that kid. By the way, hey, this card, man, this is some bullshit. I mean, let's face it. 2.5 years ago, Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero would have been a regular Showtime fight. By the way, this is the live media workout for Rolly Romero. Next is going to be working out. It's going to be Jesus Ramos, who just got off the microphone. Then it's going to be Erislandy Lara. And then after that, Rolly Romero. So I'm expecting for Rolly Romero to put on a show. So this is a live real time. But in the meantime, we're going over different topics. This fight's going to be on Showtime pay-per-view next week. Next week, it's going to be on Showtime pay-per-view for $79.99. It might be $74.99. Let me check real quick. Because T-Street going to find out how much this pay-per-view cost. But yeah, these pay-per-views are whooping ass, man. We started the year off with, for a special low price of $39.99, or was it $50? I don't remember. I think it was $39.99 for January 1st, too. Just straight in the new year. PBC on Fox, Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin. February, we got Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. What pay-per-view was in March? We didn't have a pay-per-view in March, did we? There's so many, I forget. I do know April, the 16th was Spence Ugas. The very next week was Fury versus White. I'm sure that shit flopped here in the States. Horrible undercard. I sat here and watched that shit. May the 7th, we had Canelo versus Bivol. Floyd Mayweather tried to sneak a pay-per-view in on May the 21st, even though it was going to be $30. And then next week, we got this on pay-per-view. Davis versus Romero. And I don't expect it to do good. Listen, I like the fight. I do like the fight. I do like the grudge match. But come on, man. And then for them to put on an undercard like this, that's just a smack in the face. Lara versus Gary Spike O'Sullivan. And somebody was really giving me shit because I was like, yo, it's no way Gary O'Sullivan should be fighting Erislandy Lara. He's got like some hardcore fans, and I like Spike O'Sullivan, but let's keep it fucking honest here. Does him versus Lara really move the needle for you? Is that a fight where you're like, yo, let me stop everything I'm doing. Listen, I'm going to tune in for this shit. Lara fighting Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Yo. If you're having some type of barbecue or some shit, because it's going to be Memorial Day weekend, you're going to be manning the grill. You're going to be doing other shit. Ain't nobody sitting down, and watch Lara probably go the distance with Spike O'Sullivan. Because that's probably what's going to happen. It's going to be some bullshit. Spike O'Sullivan going to be lumbering forward. Lara going to be, jab, jab, straight, jab, straight. A little check hook every now and then. I ain't trying to hear that shit. And Lara needs to do something. Let's go look at this horrific. Let's go look at it. Because it's ugly. It's ugly. And he been around forever. Wasn't he around? What was the first fight night he was on? Wasn't he on like Knockout Kings 3? On like PS1? Wasn't he on Knockout Kings? 28-3-3. Like, I swear, like, he's got to be at least 50. I don't know. He's old. I was in college when he was fighting, bro. You know how long ago that Carlos Molina fight was? He listed as 39 years old, but he one of them young-looking Cubanos. So really, that 39 years old, he probably really 45. Maybe 48, who knows? Well, anyway, look at this resume, bro. Thomas Lamana, Greg Vendetti, Canelo's balding brother, Roman Alvarez, revenge. Brian Castano, good fight, okay, all right. Smith Hurd beat the shit out of him. Terrell Boucher, Yuri Foreman, he had no knee. Yuri Foreman had no knee. I watched it. Yuri Foreman had no knee. I watched it. You got Vince Monterozzi, an okay solid fight. Jean Javek. You want to know the curse of Erislandy Lara? Erislandy Lara was the last fight on PBC, on ESPN, and PBC on Spike TV. The last fight. Like, he shut down networks. Delvin Rodriguez, Ishe Smith. So he's done a whole bunch of nothing since losing to Canelo nearly 8 years ago. 8 years ago. Now, okay, you can sprinkle in, all right, cool, the Martirosyan fight came way too late, the rematch. Nobody cared about it. Jarrett Hurd, okay, all right, but Jarrett Hurd was like 300 pounds. You know, just walked him down. Castano, I actually thought Lara lost that fight. But then look at this run he's been on. Ramon Alvarez, Greg Vendetti, Thomas Lamont, and Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. But also, Lara is one of those type of fighters where he can't really sell. And I think that's no secret now. That's no real secret unless you really match him well. But he commands a lot of money. That's why you see him taking on J sides and shit. He's the A side. He'll take on like a fucking M side, you know, to make up for his purse. So they're like, shit, let's throw him on the pay-per-view. Give him a little piece of the pie. Like, bro. The Angulo fight was fun. That was fun. That was a fun fight. But we're talking about meaningful fights. Meaningful fights. Like, he first came on the scene over on HBO. That was back in 2011, bro. It seemed like it was longer ago than that. Crazy. Anyway, let's get back to the media workout. Jesus Ramos.
And the muscle that Ramos has put on. Ramos, a part of next Saturday's Gervonta Davis, Rolando Romero Showtime pay-per-view, coming your way from Barclays Center in Brooklyn. It's great to be back in Brooklyn at Barclays Center, a venue that has been the home of many significant events over the past 10 years since it opened up back in 2012. And now Gervonta Davis once again back center stage with his name on the marquee. His opponent, Rolando Romero. Also, we're going to be talking with Edeslandi Lara coming up in a few moments. Also, he's now fighting at 160. This will be his second fight, I believe, in that division after coming off of a victory over Thomas Lamont last May. And then we'll talk with the unbeaten contender in Rolly Romero, who is certainly a unique personality. And we look forward to talking with Rolly to get his thoughts on his showdown against Gervonta Davis. And let's just say that neither man have been friendly towards one another. I'm talking about Gervonta Davis and Rolando Romero.
Also, I got a chance to check out that Triller card this weekend for those who, you know, care. I'll pull it up here on the screen as well. You had Sergey Kovalev return at cruiserweight. He ain't look bad, but you can tell, and he did acknowledge in the post-fight interview that he need maybe one or two more fights to really like get acclimated to the division. And right now, those knockouts, that shit's gone. He ain't gonna be able to do that at cruiserweight. You know, I would be impressed if he did. But that was on Triller. I paid $2.99 for it on Fight.tv, and you had Kubrat Pulev take on Jerry Forrest, who should have beat the Chinaman CCP Zheli Zhang. What other card was this weekend? I covered so much boxing, I forgot what I fucking watched. But anyway, this weekend kind of light. Now, this fight's going to be fun. You know, this is the fight of the weekend. Benavidez versus David Lemieux. This is the card. The card is, bro, like, ain't nothing there. Like, and Victor Ortiz, he's in a dark match. So you ain't going to be able to see him. The card is going to open up with Luis Nunez versus Javier Fierro. Fierro, there you go. Yoelvis Gomez versus Jorge Cota. They always wheeling out Jorge Cota for one of their 154 pounders. And then you're going to have the main event, David Benavidez versus David Lemieux. These two, I only care about the main event. Look, that's all I care about. And also, this is kind of fucked up. You got Richardson Hitchens returning, but he's fighting on a dark match too. Like, what's going on, bro? Now, this Buatsi Craig Richards fight, I really don't care too much about. And to be honest, I think that Buatsi going to be the next up-and-coming matchroom fighter that's going to get a boot put in his ass one day. I just don't really see it. For some reason, I'm not seeing it. You know, they're going to call me a hater and shit. You know how motherfuckers get when you don't agree. Motherfuckers be like, Buachi's going to be motherfucking great. Just like Anthony Yard. I was dealing with that shit for like 2 years until he got beat up. I just was like, I don't see it. Like, y'all be putting, you know, like, you got to show me something. You know, like, oh, fuck all that pass the eye test shit. Like, I want you to fight somebody and show me something. You see what I'm saying? 15-0 with 13 KOs. Creeping up on a heavyweight title shot. I just don't see it, guys. I want to believe, but I just don't see it. What's on this undercard? Alan Babic. Oh, you know, his day is coming too. Somebody, when he gets KO'd, that shit's going to be ugly. But always exciting and good to fight, and he brings in good YouTube ratings. So, yeah, I'll be covering that shit. Chantel Cameron taking on a Victoria Bustos. What's going on with Kali Reese? Them two are supposed to be fighting to unify that division, that 140-pound title, and potentially be an opponent for Katie Taylor in the future to be undisputed at 140 pounds. You know, after the Serrano rematch, of course, at 135. But yeah, they got to get that moving. Robbie Davis Jr. versus Javier Molina. Ellie Scottney versus Maria Cecilia Roman. It's going to be a tough fight for her. Don't be surprised if Scottney lose. Tough fight for her. Big props if she wins. And then over on ESPN, Janjabek Alamkanuli, I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, taking on Danny Dignam for Demetrius Andrade's vacated title. It says the interim, but at the end of the day, it's going to be for the title that Andrade is vacated at 160. And then you got Jamel Herring returning, taking on Jermaine Ortiz, and this is at 135 pounds. So Mel Herring has moved up, and he's in the deep end now, competing at 135. Let me tell you, I like Mel Herring, but he gonna get fucked up. Like he better fucking live off that jab, because 135 ain't no joke. You got some killers up in there, bro. Adam Lopez, Carlos Balderas, you know, now over with Top Rank, you know, being rebuilt, I guess you can say. Overall, nice, solid, like, action card. The main event, you know, and the co-feature are like, meh. But, you know, you're going to get some action out of Adam Lopez. Tiger Johnson, he's here now. You're going to get some action out of the Adam Lopez fight. Carlos Balderas, Magdaleno, you know, Duke Reagan. You're going to get some action out of these fights. Steve Nelson. And that's pretty much it. You know, these other fights, you know, these are for if you're really, like deep hardcore fans. You know, if you want to find Christopher Diaz versus this guy, Julio, or if you want to see Felix Alvarado. You know, I really don't care too much about these fights. No way. Andrew Tabiti returns. I haven't seen him since he got starfished. Who knocked him out in the World Boxing Super Series? I forgot. But yeah, pretty light week. Next week, obviously, we have, you know, Tank Davis versus Rolly, which is this media workout we're looking at right now. $74.99. These out of control. You know, we already knew what the price was going to be. It's not like they're going to like give us a discount. Out of control with these pay-per-views. They just think everybody rich. They just like, you know what? Buy this shit. Like, bro, they're out of control. Like, for real. This guy's pretty good too, Jesus Ramos. French contender prospect. Why haven't I done a Vargas brother video? Why would I do a Vargas brother video? They ain't, listen, if you've noticed, I don't cover prospects like Campbell Hatton and fucking them guys. I don't do that shit. No way. You gotta listen. You know, I'm not saying I'm big shit, but I just don't be doing videos on anybody. You gotta earn that shit. Cause I like to, my routine is once I cover a fighter once, I like to keep covering them. For example, I didn't even do a Gilberto Ramirez video because that was a bullshit fight. You know, and that's where I'm at with boxing right now. I just don't do videos on anything anymore, especially if you're a fighter fighting some bullshit that you shouldn't be fighting. Not the Vargas brothers, Vargas. It's just that I'm not like, nah, they ain't there yet. I'm not covering no prospect fights. Like, and what? Talk about like, ooh, they look like they're going to be something. They ain't fighting nobody of note. No disrespect to them, you know, but I'm not covering that shit. I'm trying to figure out the last time I covered a prospect fight. Every now and then I'll do a heat check. Like, I'll cover a fighter and see how the views do, but I can't remember the last fighter I did that for, like a prospect. I don't think I've ever covered a Campbell Hatton fight, even though I always watch him to see if he's going to lose. But yeah, I don't do that, bro. If you're not ranked, nah, you ain't getting no, nah. And that's pretty much the rule of thumb I can use, that if you're not ranked, I'm not going to give you no coverage. You know, unless you're like a known name, I guess.
Great work. Yep. Good. Good job, good job.
Vamos. We'll just knock out interviews right now. You guys can start asking him, you know, while he's taking off his gloves.
Roll it time. Roll it time.
In other news, it is official that Nonito Donaire is going to be taking on Naoya Inoue for the WBC, IBF, WBA Ring Magazine titles in the rematch on June the 7th at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because it's in Japan, on ESPN Plus. It's going to be Prime Video over in Japanese territories. That was officially announced today. What else of the news are we looking at? Let's go look at the rankings, see what's going on. Let's look at the rankings, see what's going on. We're going to be hearing something about Spence Crawford soon. You know, it's cooking. It's on the way. It's definitely on the way. Josh Taylor is staying at 140 pounds in talks to fight Jose Zepeda, despite losing his WBA belt. That is up for auction by the WBA. Don't get me started with them guys. What else? Haney Kambosos undercard. Card is set. Me and Big J are going to talk about that later on. Ryan Garcia is in talks to fight Javier Fortuna, despite the fact that the WBC ordered him and Isaac Cruz to fight. But don't believe those orders. Those orders don't mean shit unless you're a champion. You know, and Isaac Cruz, he's PBC property. Like, they ain't gonna let him fight Ryan Garcia. You know, he gonna fight Rolly after this, or he gonna fight Tank again. They're gonna try to build that shit up. What else? Lomachenko, he's still off at war somewhere. We haven't heard a peep out of him. My man's over at war, so, you know, there's that. This is gonna be updated. The rankings are being updated soon. Mark Magsayo and Ray Vargas are fighting. What's that, June the 26th or something like that? Yes, Virgil Ortiz is saying that he's staying at 147 pounds. He disappeared for a little while, but put out a social media post earlier today. Rumors are, well, according to Eddie Hearn, actually, he posted about it. that Canelo versus Bivol did 600,000 pay-per-view buys? Now, is that globally or is that in the States? I purchased through my cable subscriber, and it's been reported that 137,000 people purchased through their cable. So you could buy through your cable and through the zone. So I wonder what the zone. I want to know what the pay-per-view buys is for here in the States, the zone and buying through dish and cable. You know, I want to know if that's that 600,000. If it is, that's pretty good. You know, if Canelo Bivol did 600,000 pay-per-view buys here in the States at what, $59.99 on the zone, if you had a DAZN subscription, or if you purchased through cable, it was $74.99, or was it $79? It was $80 actually, $79.99. But I think that's a good number for a fight like that. Here's Lindy Lara. This motherfucker don't age. He do not age, bro. And he's like 50.
Benavidez, who's going to be translating as well. Actually, like his baseball hat. That's my favorite baseball team, but that's another topic for another day. Erislandy Lara, though, who has an impressive record, taking on Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Erislandy, you know, campaigning here at middleweight. How do you feel at 160?
¿Cómo es que te sientes en la 160?
Me siento súper bien en la 160. En la 160 me siento bien, estoy listo.
Tell us about your opponent, Gary Spike O'Sullivan, a guy who's aggressive, comes forward, 37 years of age. How do you preview your opponent?
Platícanos de Spike. Obviamente tiene un estilo bien agresivo, viene para adelante.
No sé ni cómo pelea. No sé, sinceramente no sé. Solamente yo me preparo para ese sábado 28 de mayo. Yo no veo video, como estoy cansado de decirlo, no veo pelea de boxeo y vamos a ver cómo viene.
He's like, honestly, I couldn't tell you how he fights. I don't watch any boxing. You know, I leave that for my coaches. I'm just focused on the 28th of May. I really couldn't tell you how he fights.
What does it mean for you to be returning to Barclays Center, a venue that you thoroughly dominated Dirrell Gausha back in October of 2017? But what is the significance for you to be returning back to Brooklyn and fighting in front of a very passionate fight fans in Barclays Center?
¿Qué tan grande es regresar a Brooklyn, Nueva York? Obviamente, tuviste una gran pelea con Dirrell Gausha hace unos cuantos años y mucha afición ahí en Nueva York.
Yo, he speak English. And why is the boxing voice translating for him? What is going on here?
David y Romero y estamos bien.
He's like, no, I'm excited to go back to New York. It's gone very well for me in New York, and I'm excited to be on Showtime pay-per-view co-main event for Gervonta Davis.
What is the chemistry like, and why is it so special between you and Ismael Salas? Also, now we see that Luis Cuba Arias is working with you as well. He stated that he's learned quite a bit from you and Ismael Salas, but tell us about the chemistry that you have with your head trainer, Ismael Salas.
Platícanos de la relación entre usted y el profe Ismael Salas. Obviamente también
yeah, that's the boxing voice translating.
¿Qué tan especial es la relación con el profe?
No, nosotros tenemos una relación súper bien, súper buena, junto con Arias, con todos los boxeadores de ahí del gimnasio, nos llevamos bien, estamos trabajando y yo y Arias estamos trabajando mucho en los sparring, estamos bien y nos llevamos bien con el entrenador.
No, we have a very great relationship, not just with Coach Arias, you know, with el profe, but also Cuba Arias and, you know, the rest of the team. We all work very well. Cuba and I get great sparring together, and it's been great camp, and we really push each other.
Assuming you handle business next Saturday, May 28th, on Showtime pay-per-view, on the undercard of Gervonta Davis, Rolando Romero, what's next for Erislandy Lara at 160?
Ganando el próximo sábado 28 de mayo, ¿qué sigue para Erislandy Lara en las 160 libras?
Ganando el 28 de mayo, estoy listo peleando contra los mejores de la división. Estoy cansado de mencionar los nombres, no los voy a mencionar hoy porque siempre los menciono y nunca salen. Listo para pelear con cualquiera de la división.
He's like, look, come May 28th, I come out victorious. I'm ready to fight with the best of the division. I'm not even going to mention their names because I'm tired of doing it. I keep doing it. I'm tired of doing it. I'm not going to do it today. I'm just ready to fight with the best of the division.
So why do you feel that some of the top names, I mean, you were reigning at 154 and now at 160. Why do you feel that some of the top names don't want to fight you?
¿Por qué cree que muchos de los nombres en la 160 de los mejores no quieren pelear con usted? ¿Fue lo mismo en la 154?
Es lo mismo, soy un boxeador muy complicado, un boxeador muy difícil, creo que soy un riesgo para todos.
He's like, no, it's the same thing, 154, 160. I am a tough fighter for anybody, so that's why they don't want to fight me.
I find a question to you, Adeslandi, as you're getting ready to work out, but what kind of statement, what are you looking to do next Saturday against Gary Spike O'Sullivan in the co-main event of your matchup where you put your 160-pound championship on the line?
¿Qué es lo que piensa hacer el próximo sábado 28 de mayo contra Gary Spike
No,
O'Sullivan?
primero que todo voy a salir bien enfocado, voy a salir a hacer mi trabajo, lo que yo sé hacer y salir victorioso.
He's like, no, I'm going to come out focused. I'm going to come out, do what I know how to do, and most of all, come out victorious.
Adeslandi, the American Dream Lotta, ladies and gentlemen. He's a champion at 160. He takes on Gary Spike O'Sullivan. We're going to now watch him work out here at the famed Mayweather Boxing Club in Las Vegas.
Yeah, well, he's got to do something. You know, the door is closing, and the clock is, you know, for Lara. That clock is about to strike 12, bro. You know, he's listed at 39 years old. You know, he doesn't really have too much to show for the last few years since he fought Jarrett with Hurd. Now, he's saying fighters don't want to fight him, but once again, Erislandy Lara commands a lot of money. Like, you know, he's one of the highest paid guaranteed purse PBC fighters. So when you put him in against a guy, it's got to be somebody, you know, who's not going to be requesting a lot of money. Or it has to be like a significant fight. And right now, competing at 160, let me pull up the rankings here. You know, that's why I get frustrated with PBC sometimes, because it's like, bro, make these motherfuckers fight. I know you can't, but it's like Maul Charlo. You know, are they still both for Ronnie Shields? Is that why they can't fight still? But at the end of the day, like, come on, man. Like, Lara versus Gary Spike O'Sullivan, that ain't cool. Like, how do they think that's cool? Like, how do they think that's cool? Like, it's just, you know, it's frustrating. And then it's not like they want to lend their fighters out and have them fight other people. Like in other promotions, they'll be like, nah, we ain't gonna let you go over there to fight a name of some quality. You're gonna stay here and fight fucking Spike O'Sullivan. You know, and PBC do not like making calls to people. Like, nobody's clamoring for like, yo, you know that Tank Davis role. Remember undercard, bro. That undercard, man. That shit got Lara versus Spike O'Sullivan. I'm gonna be in the crib. I'm gonna put some pig feet in the crock pot. And my little bitch come over. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm ruining me an L. Ain't nobody talking that shit about this fight. And it's frustrating. I'm tired of it. Excuse my language. That was, you know, trying to create a scenario. You know, like when you first see this fight get announced, do you be like, yo, oh, don't get me started on Munguia. He may be fighting fucking Jimmy Kelly. Don't get me started on him. He could afford Charlo, but Golden Boy was like, nah, the zone has to get that piece. They want to get their beak wet. You know, they put all the money in Munguia. It's only fair. Like, fuck out of here. I'm not trying to hear that shit either. Like, boxing can be so frustrated, bro. It's like, why won't these people fight? Fuck out of here, Oscar. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Seriously, though, what's up with Lara, Fountain of Youth? Y'all think he in the dark magic? Why, how he stay so young? My man do not age. At all. My man was on Knockout Kings 3 on PS1. He been through what? 5 council generations. I shit you not. Like when I first started watching the Erislandy Lara, it was like 2001. Like dude's been around forever, bro. I mean, we've been getting good fights, but it could be better. Don't settle for this bullshit. This is the dawn. Don't settle. Yes, we're getting some good fights lately, but we can get more. They owe us more. all this money we spend. Like, there's no way we should be having all this back and forth and fighters, you know, like barely fighting and shit. Like, no way. Once a year. You know, and then, you know, we like, oh, well, this guy can't fight this guy because of his network. And his promoter and his manager don't like each other because of this. Oh, when MTK, the drugs, they got the drug money. You know, the 600 of them can't get into the States. That's what's going on with that shit. You know, I'm tired of, like, you know, having to come up with all kind of bullshit on, like, why this fighter can't fight this fighter because it is. He can't fight this fighter because of that. It's so frustrating. And here you have Erislandy Lara. And I'm sorry he's taking the blunt of my rage. But we got Erislandy Lara taking on Gary Spike O'Sullivan next week on pay-per-view. You watching it? Who's excited for this fight? Show yourself. Who are the Lara versus Spike O'Sullivan apologists? Where are you at? Who's the ones who... I know it's got to be somebody in the chat that's like, yo, next week I'm going to be, you know, I got to make sure I'm in front of the TV. Erislandy Lara taking on Gary Spike O'Sullivan. I've been waiting for that all my life. What? Listen, I like Spike O'Sullivan, but Spike is washed, bro, and he's tailor-made. He's a straightforward, come forward pressure fighter. Lara going to pick him apart. Jab, jab, left hand. Jab, jab, hook, jab, 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 jab. Throw a little straight to the body, bam, jab. Left hand. Like, one thing I never liked about Lara is his lack of punch variety. And that's what got his ass robbed all those times. And he lost to Canelo, in my opinion, too. Like, dude, just don't mix it up. But don't get me wrong. You let that left hand keep connecting. That shit will fuck you up. It'll definitely break your face. It'll definitely break your face. But yeah, not for no fucking 39. I mean, not for no 74.99. No, here's the undercard. Here is the card for next week. Where is it at? Like, it's disgusting. It's deeply upsetting. Here's the undercard. For a 74.99 pay-per-view. Here is the undercard. And it's only 4 fights. And we don't even know what the 4th fight is. You got Jesus Ramos versus Lucas Santamaria. Lara versus Spike O'Sullivan. And then Tank Davis versus Rolly. This is a Showtime championship card. This is a regular card. This ain't no pay-per-view. This is outrageous. It's outrageous. We deserve better. We need to start standing up for ourselves. We need to start standing up for ourselves. No, damn it. I'm a Tank Davis fan. You know, and I do admit Rolly has grown on me. You know, but no, damn it. We're not going to keep putting up with this mess. We must start making them feel the burn and the sting of our pockets. Gas is fucking $4.60 a gallon. I used to put 89 in my truck. Now I'm putting 87 in. You know how much it costs now to get some buffalo wings? Remember how a 10-piece buffalo wings, and let me tell you something. You're a lowdown if you eat boneless wings. They're just nuggets, okay? They're just nuggets. But anyway, you know how much a 10-piece wings cost? Like $17. Getting the buffalo wing is now an entree. It's not an appetizer anymore. So when you are trying to give me, and what about the baby formula? I don't know anything about it, but I keep hearing about it. What about the baby formula? You know, and the Putin price hikes. Joe Biden did all of this. $74.99? Come on, man. I blame Joe Biden. We ain't have all these pay-per-views in the Trump era. Let me stop for y'all get triggered. We ain't have all these pay-per-views. So much has changed. And we still kind of in a pandemic. People ain't working. And here I am just pumping all my EBT food stamps into these pay-per-views. Using all my food stamps up to cover the sport for you, the people. No more. No more. No, Top Rank, no, Showtime cards are great. But once again, this is a pay-per-view, mate. Like, nah, you keep trying to come up with these excuses. You need accountability in your life, Southpaw. It's time for accountability. Admit your wrongs. And no, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hear it. By the way, Rolly Romero is up next. I'm pretty sure he's going to be pretty hilarious. Yo, what if Rolly Romero beat Tank Up? That would be fucking wild, right? I do want to be along for that ride. I do want to be along for that ride. But y'all know me. If you don't, even though I'm bitching and complaining now, I'm going to be here next week covering this card. So, you know, I'm going to be right here. You know, after Laura beat up Spike O'Sullivan, I'm going to be covering this card. So I can bitch and complain all I want. But that doesn't mean I have to like it. I'll be sitting here watching this stuff, man. You know, and it's a busy day. I got to start like 2 o'clock for that the Zone Joshua Buatsi card. You know? Let's see what he's talking about to this Hispanic speaking.
Meeting with the media here and talking with various media outlets here in Las Vegas ahead of his co-main event matchup against none other than Gary Spike O'Sullivan. And coming up, we're going to be talking with the undefeated lightweight contender, 12 knockouts.
I didn't say that Rolly was going to win, okay? Don't put words in my mouth, you low down. I didn't say that. Don't you dare. I'm saying, what if in the multiverse, what if Rolly Romero was to beat Tank Up? You know, I would love to be along on that ride. And no, I'm not smoking crack or opioid crisis. I'm not in the opioid crisis. Do people still do crack? Isn't it like opioids now? The fentanyl? People don't do crack no more. I don't hear about on the news the crack pipe. People doing that fentanyl shit. That shit is wild, bro. I'll be watching those videos like multiple times a week, like going up and down Kensington Avenue in Philly, seeing Zombieland. Just imagine the smell. But yeah, you know, I mean, one thing for sure is going to happen. Either, you know, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be hella entertaining. But also a lot of people think that Rolly just going to, you know, like get put to sleep. And you be hearing a lot of stories about Rolly, bro, like around boxing. That dude, like, really confident, but people be sparring him and be like, yo, he really not that good. But however, Ryan Garcia did get hands laid upon him. And Rolly a big dude. Like, Rolly about 5'8", 5'9". At 135, he looked like he coming into the ring at least 160, 170. Remember, this fight is at 135. You know what I didn't like? I didn't like that Floyd Mayweather didn't show up to the press conference, but he had his own press conference that very same day down in Miami. Fucking guy with his NFT rug pull scams. Fucking guy. And the thing is, you know, like, he's got some really good, solid fighters. Like, it's always some dumb shit. Yeah, Philly's a dangerous place, man. A dangerous, dangerous place. Philly is fucked up, too. Let me tell you. A very scummy city. Like, shit's all fucked up, run by a bunch of dickheads. And they wonder why they always in some bullshit. It's like, it's you, leadership. It's you. Like, this shit is all your fault. Like, your motherfuckers is dumb. Let's see what Ray's talking about. Rolly's going to be coming out next.
Jermall Charlo in the rematch finish off Brian Castano to become the undisputed super welterweight champion of the world. And now, lo and behold, Rolando Romero has his opportunity to go ahead and potentially dethrone Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, right now, everyone is trying to make a case for who is the best lightweight in the world. Well, the guys at the top that hold the belts, they have to keep winning in order to continue to make that claim. Gervonta Davis has been very vocal, saying that he wants to fight the best of the best, and he's got to get past Rolando Romero. Rolly has stated that he's going to knock out Gervonta Davis in 1 round or less. I can't remember anybody making a prediction like that against Gervonta Davis. Another thing we've been talking about, the fact that we've never seen Gervonta Davis sort of be, antagonize, someone chastise him, someone rip on him. So how is he going to fight with someone who's trying to get under his skin? At the end of the day, 11 days from now, the talking will dissipate. But from now until fight night, I look forward to talking with Rolando Romero. I look forward to seeing the press conference next week. And one thing I'll tell you, right now, Showtime Championship Boxing, we are in the midst of an unbelievable schedule. Why? I don't know. Because last week, we had Jermall Charlo victorious.
He said all that already. But yeah, we were talking about, we were looking at the ESPN pound for pound list earlier. And we were talking about where Charlo should be and who should replace, and who Charlo should replace in the pound for pound rankings. Now, everyone's pound for pound rankings is different. It's up for debate. It's a talking point. People, fans' criteria, are different. If we were to remove somebody, let's just use ESPN's, who would you remove from this list in place of Charlo? You got Crawford, Inoue, Spence, Canelo, Fury, Usyk, Lomachenko, Bivol, Shakur, and Juan Francisco Estrada tops out the top 10. Me personally, Charlo has a better case than Shakur Stevenson, that's for sure. He has a better case, in my opinion, than Tyson Fury, that's for sure. My opinion. Check the way Tank and Rolly are not the same height, bro. You tripping. Tank is about 5'4", legit. I've met Tank like in real life, and that's like an ongoing joke. Like, dude is really short, bro. Like, that's a little dude. Like, dude's about 5'4", okay, 5'5". Like, if that, like, that's a little dude. Rolly's about 5'9", 5'8", 5'8", 5'9". But yeah, Jermall Charlo should definitely be pound for pound. And right now, when you look at the mandatories at 154 pounds, who at 154 pounds right now that's at the top that Charlo doesn't beat? He would beat up Tim Tszyu. He would beat up Murtazaliev. He would beat up Madrimov and Soro, who are both fighting to be the WBA mandatory. And he would, beat up Tony Harrison again. I don't see anybody in the top 15 of 154 pounds that can beat Charlo. He is the man. He should, in my opinion, he's top 5 pound for pound. My opinion. Remember that. Opinion police. My opinion. Doggone it. Yeah, that is true. PBC do got some old-ass Cubanos. Like, all of them are old. Well, here's Rolly. So let's hear this funny shit he gonna talk. I guarantee you it's gonna be hilarious. I don't think Fundora can beat Charlo. He would just smother his punches. But anyway, Rolly Romero's here. Thanks for watching, guys. Take your time out. Like the video, subscribe, and teach through controversy with Fight View 360.
And be looking to dethrone Gervonta Tank Davis. And, Rolando Romero currently in the building. He's going to be jumping in the ring to work out. And after he's done working out, we're going to talk with him and have a full-length conversation. I'm going to ask him about a variety of different topics.
Saying that he's like on the short bus.
Why he's predicting a first-round knockout. And we will try to analyze and get his thoughts as we are 11 days.
Oh my God, why gotta be a stupid motherfucker? Hey, don't you bully me. How dare you? Bobby, you need to grow up. You're better than this, man. Come on.
All Access this Saturday night. You do not want to miss it. It is Showtime All Access, as now we will go over and watch Rolando Romero get ready to wrap his hands, as he is always dressed and has a unique sense of fashion and style. And once he's done working out, we'll talk with Rolly himself and get his opinion on his adversary, Gervonta Davis. And I'm actually going to ask him, I'm curious to see if he's going to stick by his prediction of a first-round knockout over Gervonta Davis. That all to come here as you are watching the Rolly Romero workout here on the Showtime and the PBC social media pages 11 nights away from Fight Night from Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Ray Flores here at the famed Mayweather Boxing Club here in Las Vegas as we will dive further into detail and look at and examine Rolly Romero as he prepares to work out here in Las Vegas.
Got a story here from Boxing Scene on Charlo Castano 2 having the highest ratings that PBC and Showtime have had in 3 years. That's some very, very positive news. Let me pull it up on the screen here for you guys. No, don't you joke with me. Don't you take it back now. You went too far, Bobby. I don't play around like that, man. I'll mess you up. These numbers here, let's see. Those numbers were the highest for Showtime since Wilder first round knockout over Dominic Breazeale. Wow. Yeah, because these ratings have been shitty. But you know what this means? That's not good for us. That's not good for us. Don't worry, Bobby. You're my mate too, man. Hey, that's not good for us because you know why? Because now they're going to try to put him on pay-per-view again. They're going to be like, oh, shit, he can sell. So let's put his ass on pay-per-view. Nah, don't do it, Showtime. Because that's what these high ratings mean, is that they're going to try to pay-per-view his ass, and we deserve better. We deserve better. Damn, they put all this filler in here, Keith Idek. My bad, I was reading the cards. But yeah, man, let's go listen.
The strength and conditioning coach, you get these guys shredded. They're unbelievable athletes, but they become superior athletes under your guidance. Let's talk about Rolando Romero and Gervonta Davis. What has been the theme of all the camp?
Listen, first of all, let me say I'm super excited for this fight. I mean, super excited. For those who don't know, Rolly has wanted this fight for the length of time that I've ever known him. So it's finally he gets an opportunity to get what he's been looking for. He's excited for it. And for those who are watching, if you haven't got your pay-per-view purchase yet, you're going to want to buy it because I can promise you it's going to be...
Tank be wearing like heels. I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull up the face-off.
Distance. I can promise you that.
And the bad blood is real. This is not fabricated. They both don't like each other.
This is true. You know, both these guys have history. And when you've got two guys under the same banner, Mayweather Promotions, and I guess each person wants to be the king of that division, not only of that division, but the promotion. And when you got personal history like that, it makes things give you a little bit more incentive to get the work done. So Rolly has trained his ass off. He did not take this lightly. He got a second chance at success. So we're looking for him to do something amazing that night. He put all this effort into it. So if Gervonta or anyone else thought this was going to be an easy fight, they're wrong.
Do you think that the physicality, because Rolly Romero comes from a judo background and he is unorthodox, and people say, well, technically he's not doing things correctly as you would see.
Since when did Rolly know karate? That makes sense, right? He do like a karate kid.
Well, first of all, he does do things by the books. It just looks different, right? And that's what people have a problem with. He doesn't have to be standard.
Hold on, I'm trying to get you to see. My bad. I don't know why.
They think he's not in line. The reality of it is, if you look down at all the people in that division, you're gonna have a hard time finding a guy who's as explosive as he is and can throw power the way he throws power. So you're gonna get to see all that night.
Has been so vocal and has been poking the bear that is Gervonta Davis. I've never seen anybody try to play the mental games and these mind games with Gervonta. Has that made Rolly Romero work that much harder compared to any other camp that you've been with him?
Well, he's worked hard every camp, right? And he definitely put a little extra effort into this camp. But who's to say those are actually games? You know, you said they're mental games. A lot of that stuff Rolly believes. You know, he's been living this for a long time. He feels like he has something to prove, and this is his opportunity. So a lot of things that he says, he actually feels deep down inside. Now, there are some times when he's joking and having fun with him, but for the most part, when he tells me or tells you guys that he's not a fan of this guy, he's serious. When he's telling guys he wants to knock this guy out, he's serious, and that's been his focus from the very beginning. So there's nothing fake about that.
Coach Wade, how do you see the fight going down next Saturday, May 28th, 11 days from now on Showtime pay-per-view?
A knockout. Definitely a knockout.
Coach Larry Wade joining us here as we continue to watch Rolly Romero work out ahead of his lightweight showdown with the gold on the line against Gervonta Tank Davis from Barclays Center in Brooklyn.
I was trying to get a shot of Tank Davis's shoes. But yeah, on one of these joints, I don't know if it was this one or the last one, he was wearing some questionable lifts in his shoes. That's a classic short person tactic. They like to fucking disguise that shit in the feet. But yeah, they're having some clipping issues over there on the live stream. This is live from the Mayweather gym. Remember, these guys were supposed to fight earlier, but Rolly had those sex deviant allegations. His name has been pretty much cleared, from my understanding. And yeah, he's able to. He almost got his ass canceled.
Yes.
Yeah, platforms. That's what they call platforms. Like Floyd did it when he fought Conor McGregor. During the press conference, he was wearing those platforms, those lifts, so he can look taller. And Conor was clowning him for it.
So now we are with the esteemed trainer of Reliance.
This is next weekend on pay-per-view. I thought that was John Leguizamo in the back.
Coach, thank you so much for joining us as we are 11 days away until your pupil steps inside the ring for the biggest fight of his life with the Lightweight World Championship on the line against Gervonta Davis. How's camp been?
Camp has been extremely great, really good, every aspect of it.
This has been a camp where there is such a belief from Rolly and you that you guys believe that you're going to be able to knock out Gervonta Davis. Let's talk about the animosity between the two. Where does it all stem from?
Well, it all stems from just being a big businessman. You come to Vegas to spar, you show up to spar. That's it.
And then for those that don't know the story, can you tell us about what happened? Was it the fact that I always believe that the truth lies somewhere in the middle, but from your perspective, what happened when it came to that sparring?
It's just, if you make a deal with somebody, you say, okay, I'm going to meet you here at a certain time. Be a man and just show up.
So you guys are saying that Gervonta Davis did not show up to sparring?
Twice. Waste our time twice.
So twice. It wasn't just once, it was twice.
Twice. But I think it's the beauty of this fight. He don't know what to expect now. He don't know what he's in there against. So instead of us being kind of like, okay, that should have happened, we're glad it didn't happen.
So because of the fact that Rolly Romero comes from a judo background, that he's physical, he has a unique style to him inside the ring, do you think that is going to give Gervonta Davis problems next Saturday, May 28th on Showtime pay-per-view?
A lot of problems, more problems than he's ever seen in his career.
So where do you feel that the advantages lie for Rolly, not just with the physicality?
Well, he's very hungry. He's
I'm paying
very.
for this. I'm doing it for you.
His intangibles, like you said, ain't nothing to do with physicalities. The intangibles, the willingness to win, the one that goes in to press the fight every time the bell rings, the one that wants to be the other guy. That's what's going to make the winner.
Where do you feel, has there been, because of the fact that Rolly is an underdog, do you guys pay attention to that? Do you give it any sort of, acknowledgement, or does it not play any mind?
There is no such thing as A side, B side in boxing. It's all in the fighter's head if somebody can manipulate you to believe that you're a B side. If you step into that ring, you got every chance to knock him out as anybody else. You know what I'm saying? It goes either way. Whoever, like I said, whoever has the will to win will find a way to win.
Do you think that Gervonta is underestimating Rolly Romero?
By far. The whole world of boxing underestimates Rolly Romero.
And why is that?
They keep him out of every conversation when they talk about the top 4 guys and top 5 guys in the lightweight division. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much like, oh, where's Rolly's name? He's number 1 WBA, but you talk about Ryan Garcia, talk about Pitbull Cruz. What the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? Get this man some respect. You know what I'm saying?
So you believe that because he's not mentioned in the conversations that already he's coming into this fight with a chip on his shoulder?
Oh, we got a major chip on our shoulder. I got a chip on my shoulder as a coach. So I know my fighter. I know it's mine. He has a lot to prove to the world. He's going to prove it.
How would you say that training camp has been in the sense that you don't want to overexert your fighter? With a lot of emotion being involved in this fight, it's easy to keep pushing. How do you make sure that he stays fresh for fight night?
It's just another day in the office every day. We just do what we normally do. We're just preparing for it. Tank. When you go into a fight, a lot of people try to prepare for the guy's last fight or how he fought some other guys. You can't prepare for somebody that's going to fight Rolly. Or Rolly can't prepare for Tank to fight like he fought somebody else. They got to prepare for each other. You know what I'm saying? And that preparation really just basically is conditioning. Strength, mind strength, and toughness. Because in the ring, he's not going to show Rolly would have showed the people. He won't stand there to get punched.
How would you assess Gervonta's last performance against Isaac Cruz?
He won. That's how you assess that as boxing.
And also, Rolly Romero, my final question to you. The entire team has said 1-round knockout in favor of Rolly Romero. Are you sticking with that prediction?
That's Rolly's energy. That's what he feels. Me, I'm ready for 1 or 16. Because I know he's ready for 1 or 16. They're the one that's going to gas out, not us. Oh, he want to think about one round knockout, third eye. That's what like Tank said. Listen, bro, if you step in there and feel froggy, you're going to sleep early. If you want to box and run around like a little girl, then that's what we're going to do, 12 rounds. Just for you.
Have you thought about what a jam-packed Barclays Center in Brooklyn is going to be like when you guys make your ring walk?
Yeah, of course. It's going to be electrifying. It's going to be one of the greatest moments in the lightweight division and the greatest moment of Rolly's life. You know what I'm saying? In his boxing career. It's going to be monumental. It's huge. We're not nowhere near trying to play that down like some people. We know how big it is. It is huge.
Well, Bullet, good luck to you guys. We look forward to seeing you next week during Fight Week.
Thank you.
Bullet Cromwell, the esteemed trainer of Rolando Rolly Romero, back to Rolly's workout here in Las Vegas.
He'd be like, yeah, I'm going to knock him the fuck out. He's been scared of me. Fucking big ass Tank Davis had called that dude Booker T. You know what? The hell with it. Next week is going to be Rolly's World. That's it. I'm gonna bet I'm going to bet and gamble on Rolly Romero. I got $5. $5 on Rolly. Who's with me? See, Rolly, he's a combat sports technician. Not only does he know karate, but he's a boxer too. Tank never seen this type before. Tank don't know what he's getting himself into. I got a bad feeling about this, man. Got a bad feeling. You know, certain strains of marijuana lead to paranoia. Got a bad feeling. You know, all it takes is one shot in this sport, man. Remember how Marquez had knocked out Manny Pacquiao? Remember Deontay Wilder had knocked out Fury, but Fury came back from the dead. Remember, Dimitri Bivol beat Canelo. It can happen, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that glove. That's all Rolly needs, is that one hand. Tank Davis got to be right all 12 rounds. All Rolly need is 30 seconds. And Tank Davis is trying to leave. I'm going to put a conspiracy theory out there. Tank Davis is trying to leave PBC and Al Heyman. Or trying to leave, not Al Heyman, trying to leave Mayweather Promotions. So what if they try to set him up? We've seen these cards lately. What if they try to set him up? What if Rolly's the new golden child? What if Rolly's the new golden child? He's the money man now. He's the one that's going to put an end to the one, Tank Davis. How do you destroy a tank? We got to put a mine down. You got to open up the hatch, throw a grenade in it. Called the Incredible Hulk. He always flipping them tanks. Rolly here to take the throne. Who's gonna stop him? And then he's gonna go for Devin, Haney, and George Kambosos. They're finished. They're all finished.
What's that?
This is Rolly's world, baby.
You're watching the Rolly Romero workout as the unbeaten lightweight.
On some real shit though, he done walked around like for the last 5 minutes.
Takes on Gervonta Davis for the lightweight championship of the world next Saturday, May 28th, 11 days from now, live on Showtime pay-per-view from Barclays Center in Brooklyn. All brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, GTD Promotions, and TGB Promotions, presented by Premier Boxing Champions. If you are in the Brooklyn area and if you've never been to a prize fight, or if you have, there is nothing like a big fight at Barclays Center, especially on Memorial Day weekend.
You can't tell me Rolly don't look like he don't got a chin. It be the fighters like him who got a chin of stone. I guarantee you can hit him in the fucking face with a bat and he ain't going down. He like, is that all you got, bitch? You hit like a little bitch.
Bad blood between the two, as these two do not like each other. There is certainly quite a bit of animosity between Gervonta Davis and Rolly Romero.
And Rolly look like he's strong as fuck too, so he got a chin and he's strong and he know karate. Tank is finished. That's it. That's it. You know what? I'm putting $5 down on Rolly. Turn that into $25 real quick. Easy work. Smart investments.
I don't know how to put that shit on.
And I'm gonna buy 2 Powerball tickets That's it. I'm putting the house on Rolly. Rolly is the new face of Mayweather Promotions.
You don't know how to tell time on that, man. All you gotta do is act like this.
Here we go. Watch this display of speed and power. He about to let these mitts have it. I hope his trainer's hands are ready for the beating they're about to get. Go ahead, Rolly. Go to left hook. Look at that. Look at that speed. This is a little bit of a slow start. Just a little slow start. We don't want to show all of what we have in the war chest until next week. This is all a delusion. Ooh, look at that. Woo. Oh. That's way too fast. Be careful, Rolly. Don't show him too much, baby. Don't show him too much. There you go. Whoa. Yeah, you know what? Nah, don't show him too much. Nah, don't show him too much. That's it, coach. That's it, coach. Gotta cool him off. Here we go. This is it. That's what I'm talking about. See, when has Tank ever seen power like this and size? Tank was having issues with 1 foot, 1 shoe Gamboa. Rolly would have got him out of there and won. Shotgun. Double barrel. Remember, we're going to be here for all you naysayers. We're going to be here next week. All y'all talking shit. Never been in the ring. That's all y'all do. Never been in the ring, always talking shit. One, two, Rolly's coming for you. Oh no, boxing therapy, you got it wrong. The future is Rolly. Look at that sneaky piston-like jab. Low Tank won't be able to see it coming. Tank gonna get his ear. See, Rolly can beat you anyway.
All right, we are are going to be joined alongside
he can
by
he can jab your ears off.
lightweight contender,
He knows karate.
Rolando Rolly Romero.
He can beat you with the left hook, right hook, up to the body and to the head. Excellent body work. You saw what he did to Anthony. Can you dig it, yig it?
Romero working out, and then we're going to talk with him and get his thoughts on him.
And then, what was it? Miranez didn't want the rematch. Look at him chisel.
With his trainer, Bullet Cromwell, as you see the physique of
Boxing and mixed martial art is the only sports where we look at other men's bodies and be like, look at him, he looking good shape. He's chiseled. He ain't looking dry out there. Well, this is it. Oh, he putting the show on now. Come on, Rolly. Turn it up on him. Be a fool to not be intimidated a little bit. Come on now. Tank knows better. He knows what he's seeing.
Hey, bro. You're looking sharp, bro. Whoa.
That's how he gonna walk Tank down all night. Tank ain't gonna be able to do nothing. He don't have nothing for that.
Good work, buddy. That's good work.
Tupac is back.
We are awaiting Rolando Rolly Romero as he will take on Gervonta Davis next Saturday, May 28th from Barclays Center in Brooklyn. As you see, Rolly Romero currently in the ring right now. We are efforting him to get
exactly unlimited. You're right. It's unlimited. He knows it. He knows it all. He done forgot shit that Tank's already learning.
Saturday night on a Showtime pay-per-view.
Look, where you know what they need? They need those floaty tube things. And just throw them at Rolly. Right, and he'll just dodge them all.
Romero right now, as we appreciate him
and the hat that Katie Taylor and Loma wear with the ball on it. And he can punch
Rolly,
that.
You look in impeccable physical shape as you are with the
all right, here's the goal. Here it is, the good stuff.
Rolly, is this the best you've ever felt heading into a prize fight?
Man, I always feel good every time I go into a fight. I always feel good.
So this fight with you and Gervonta Davis, no love lost between you two. How much do you dislike Tank?
I don't like him as a person. I think he's a piece of shit person. And honestly, he's going to get his ass whipped because he's a fucking piece of shit for the sport, too.
Yes.
What did you take away from the press conference that you had with him about a month ago at Barclays Center in Brooklyn? Did you take anything away from the stare down and you guys going back and forth?
Rolly coming to clean up the sport.
No, it's just a bunch of nervous energy. He ain't saying shit. He don't even think he'll knock me out. He can't do shit. He a bitch.
Why are you so confident? You said during the press conference, I'm going to knock him out in one round. As we're 11 days away until you step inside the ring against the hard-hitting Gervonta Davis, the undefeated Gervonta Davis. You're also undefeated. Are you sticking with that prediction of a one-round knockout?
1 round. If I say I do, I'm gonna do it.
Why is that? What do you see? What do you see in his game that you feel you can?
Let me ask you this: tell me a fight he don't get punched on by smaller dudes that have no power, no nothing. Tell me a fight. I'm way more accurate than everyone he's ever fought. Way more explosive, way stronger, way bigger than everybody else. So I mean, it's just common sense.
One key component to your game that I feel like you do compared to other lightweights is that you're physical. You come from a judo background. Do you think your physicality is going to play a factor in the fight?
No, he's going to get knocked out from the first point that he eats.
So I know you mentioned about that he's shorter than you. Do you think that your reach and your height is going to be a factor into your benefit?
I mean, of course, but like I said, he's just going to run right into something he's small.
So the bad blood, from what I gather, stems from the fact that they were supposed to be sparring. It didn't happen once. It didn't happen twice. Is that where all this bad blood sort of manifested itself?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if I say I want to spar somebody, I'll spar somebody, right? And like, I mean, he ducked me twice even then. So, I mean, I've been calling him out since 2017. The reason why the fight's made is because I want it, not because he wants it. He don't want the shit. If we wish, he could fight some other 126, 122 pounder.
It took you some time to get this fight, and lo and behold, now you have it. Isaac Cruz fought him back in December. What was your assessment of his fight against Isaac Cruz?
He got his ass beaten to show that he's extremely vulnerable and that he's scared of people that can crack.
You have Joel Casamayor in your corner as well. He has been in the ring. El Campeón himself. How much of a benefit has Joel Casamayor been to you in this camp? And Joel's very confident in your abilities.
I mean, just watching him, he's a slick southpaw, so, I mean, I learned a lot, especially on, moving around and all that stuff, being accurate. I mean, he's been in my corner even when I was amateur. He's seen me knock out so many people in the amateurs.
Joel, what makes him special?
Good. I'm ready. Good. Ready for the fight.
Now, Rolly,
win.
If you could give one message to Gervonta Tank Davis right now, you're both undefeated. The lightweight championship of the world's on the line. Showtime pay-per-view, jam-packed.
There you go, Tank. I hope you're listening.
What do you want to tell Tank right now?
I don't got no message for his bitch ass. I only got these fists.
Rolando Rolly Romero, ladies and gentlemen, joining us. Don't miss Rolando Romero, Gervonta Davis, Leonard Ellerby. Bad blood. We love big fights. But I love big fights with
blood. Is definitely bad.
Blood. Does it get any hotter than these two?
No, it doesn't. He's been asking me for this fight for like 3 years. Every time he see me, he's been asking. He want to fight Tank. And now's the opportunity. We right here, close to the fight. He's in terrific shape, and I expect it's going to be a terrific fight.
And Leonard, also, one thing that people fail to realize is that Rolly has a high knockout percentage. We know what Tank can do, but Rolly has a high knockout percentage as well. So 2 heavy hitters getting inside the ring at Barclays Center.
Most definitely, and that's why I tell all the fans, this is a very dangerous fight for both guys. Tank is one of the best fighters in the entire world right now. He's very slick. He has tremendous skills that he hadn't had a chance to really showcase his boxing skills. Everyone knows he's a tremendous puncher. And when you look at Rolly, like I said, he does some things that are very different. He's an awkward fighter, but sometimes those kind of things work to your advantage. I've seen awkward fighters be very successful, just to name a couple. Ricardo Mayorga, Juan Rodon, Marcos Madonna.
I'm glad you brought up the name Mayorga because Rolly reminds me of the lightweight version of Mayorga,
yes,
but being here from Las Vegas.
Yeah, yes, he does. Saki Obika. It's sometimes it's hard to prepare for guys who aren't the traditional, guys with their styles. So again, it's going to be a very, very entertaining fight, and I expect this fight to end definitely in a knockout.
Leonard, I've known you for well over a decade, but the one thing I noticed when Floyd was in his prime doing his thing is that anybody that fought Floyd became a name. Now we're starting to see that with Gervonta Davis. Look at what Isaac Cruz, his name elevated because he was in the ring and he fought valiantly. Now Rolando Romero, Rolly, people are talking about Rolly. Is that what we're starting to see, that Tank's name is so big that now his opponents become a name when they fight him?
Well, that's what happens. And, again, I reiterate, Tank's one of the best fighters in the world. And he's a big-time attraction, and everyone wants to come out and see him fight. And again, so any fight that he's involved in is a big fight.
My last question to you. I know that the pay-per-view is going to be off the charts, but how many ticket requests are you getting from NBA players, from hip-hop artists? Because Tank and Rolly, this fight is transcending and is getting into mainstream pop culture.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I've gotten so many calls daily, you know, but there just aren't going to be enough tickets to go around. There will be hundreds of people waiting outside thinking they're going to be able. Not going to happen.
Yeah, tell them motherfuckers no, freeloaders.
A jam-packed, sold-out event, and it's going to be a tremendous fight between two excellent fighters.
That's a man who knows how to do it. The CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerby, on behalf of Rolando Romero, Edis Landialata, Jesus Ramos, and Luis Arias Amre Flores saying so long from Las Vegas. 11 days from now, Memorial Day weekend, Tank and Rolly on Showtime pay-per-view. Do it. Listen to this man because he's been around a few big fights or two. We'll see you guys next week in Brooklyn.
All right, that's the end of the media workout. Here is the undercard for those who are interested. Not a good one. $74.99 on Showtime pay-per-view. Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero. Laura. Here's Lindy Laura versus Gary Spike O'Sullivan for the WBA regular belt at middleweight. The winner is going to be the mandatory for Golovkin. Jesus Ramos versus Lucas Santamaria. And then you have Eduardo Ramirez taking on Luis Melendez. Not a good undercard, ladies and gentlemen. But at the same time, we are paying for $75 to see Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero. And the way Rolly is talking, you know, confident fighter. You know, let's go look at his resume real quick. You know, confident fighter. But, you know, is he, you know, like, for one, you know, like, does he have the chin? You know, like, can the chin hold up? You know, that's something to talk about. 14-0 with 12 KOs, 26 years old, listed at 5'8". He has stopped his last two opponents. Jackson Miranez, they offered him the rematch. He didn't want it. I mean, you know, in reality, you know, like, dude, I mean, he's not trash like people try to say he is. You know, it's just that he is an awkward type of fighter, very confident. But, you know, when you're dealing with Tank Davis, I don't know, bro. Like, dude, even though he does have some flaws, you know, last couple of fights, you know, he was in really tough with Mario Barrios. It wasn't until the second half of the fight, the last quarter of the fight, is where he had to come back to get the knockout. Then Isaac Cruz took him the distance in a very, very tough fight. But at the same time, Isaac Cruz was a late replacement. The Leo Santa Cruz fight, well, you know, Leo Santa Cruz decided to throw the same punches, you know, 3 times and got his ass KO'd. Timed and KO'd. But it is time for Tank Davis to do something. And I wonder, like, what can PBC do for Tank Davis after Rolly Romero? What can they do for him? Because all the big fights are either with Top Rank or the Zone. You know, they're in a similar situation like Crawford was with Top Rank, where it's like, yo, like, we have all the fights, you know, and it doesn't help that PBC, you know, well, Mayweather, for real, has went on the record multiple times to say they're going to keep Tank Davis in-house. So when you look at it on the PBC side, what could they pull off for Tank Davis? In-house fight. In-house fight. And they're talking about Ryan Garcia. I don't see it happening. You know, Ryan Garcia belongs to the Zone, you know, and the Zone is going to want some type of piece or money to let him fight over on Showtime. I just don't see it happening. So Kambosos and Haney are in a 2-way deal. They're going to fight in June and then probably sometime in November or December. So that's all the belts at 135 already taken up. So let's say he fights Rolly, beat him. Who does he fight for his second fight this year? Who does he fight in October, November, December if he beats Rolly Romero? A fight, because remember, they want to keep him on pay-per-view. So, of course, they're going to try to pay-per-view that shit. I don't want to see him versus the Isaac Cruz, too. No. I don't want to see it. No. Not right now. Like, nah. At 135, you know, maybe, I mean, we already seen that PBC likes to put fighters who lose in a fight on pay-per-view. Maybe Tank Davis versus Gary Russell in Baltimore or in DC somewhere. Maybe. I'm looking for fights that they can make. I don't see anybody. I'm talking about in this political landscape. I don't see anybody. You know, unless he wants to test the waters. Remember, that was that little Keith Thurman thing going on. Unless they want to do him versus Keith Thurman. Maybe Tank wants to, you know, chase greatness there and go to 147 to test the waters. Who knows? Try to punch Keith Thurman in his stomach. But yeah, you know, if Tank Davis after Rolly is not going to fight a Lomachenko or Ryan Garcia, let me see. Gary Russell I'd be cool with. Shakur Stevenson I'd be cool with. But we have a better chance of seeing Shakur Stevenson versus Loma, you know, before. I don't see it. But listen, let me get up out of here. We're going to be here tomorrow. I forgot what press conference is tomorrow. Forgot what media event is tomorrow. Well, I'm going to go take a nap, do some food prep, and then I'm back with boxing for the week. Tank versus Ugas. Ugas is out for a year. You know, remember, he got his eye socket broken. That's at least 9 months, you know, like to a year. Like, he ain't going to be back for a while. You know, so, you know, don't see that at all. But I'm getting up out of here, guys. Take your time out, like the video.